Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to According to Low Elo. My name is Dean.
And I'm Tyler.
And we are back to, man, big sigh. Talk about Yuumi. Sort of got the other week we talked about Zeri, and then now we got to talk about the other problematic champion, Yuumi.
Frustrating champs, dude. Frustratingchamp.com.org. Sure.
So yeah, they put up a dev blog post that absolutely says nothing about what they're gonna do. And so we're gonna go over that, maybe present some ideas of what we can guess what they're going to do, what we might be able to suggest they should do, and we'll have a grand old time. But really quick, going back to our episode 116 on YouTube, XLC Blue 782 said, "I feel attacked with that dancing in the brush while healing."
Yeah, I mean, it's just part of playing Garen, I guess, so...
No, like I said, nothing personal, man. Nothing personal. It's just you got to go in there,
Yeah.
drop your sword, do the monkey, or do your push-ups, and you're back to full HP. It's nothing personal. So,
Do your push-ups, dude. Just do your push-ups. That's all that matters.
I'm holding the world up. So, yeah. Guys, remember, just if you comment anywhere, we'll read it. We'll shout you out. And
Unless you don't want us to, just say, please don't read this or something like that. I don't know. Figure out a way to tell us not to read it, and we won't. But if it's up there, I mean, I assume it's up for public consumption, so...
Right. And then the other thing we had to go over was, let me bring this screen up. Boom, there we go. Over here on our Discord, Calientes with another suggestion. He's killing it right now. Last week,
Calientes might be our most creative listener / viewer, and some of you guys are gonna have to step a game up just a hair, because Calientes is killing it right now, dude.
So the other week, he wrote in here and said, after watching this video of Captain Flowers reeling off his $1 million idea for Trucker Ornn, I'm sure we've all seen that, I want to know your skin pitches. Be sensible, be ridiculous, be extravagant, be budget, be refined, be ratchet as hell. What do you guys got? So, I definitely failed on doing this assignment. I have some very generic ideas, which are basically just like skin lines that champions can join. That would make fucking sense. Do you have...
That's still cool, though. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, why don't you go first? Because do you have some concepts you're thinking of?
So, first I want to touch on this one that I posted in here from Macro. I don't know if he called it Santa Ornn. He didn't give it a name, but I saw this. This was a pretty good concept. I'm like, this makes sense. Ornn gives gifts. I like it. I thought this was very creative, very well done. Thank you, Macro, for posting that up on Twitter, whoever you are. This was fucking awesome. I had one myself, and it's not fully fleshed out just because I'm not super creative in that regard, I guess, but I was thinking about Zilean.
Okay.
And Zilean is... he's not a wizard, but he also sort of is a wizard. Like, when you look at him, he gives some Merlin vibes. And then he's got the clock, right? And when I look at Zilean, sometimes I just think, Time Wizard! And full Joey Wheeler. So I thought it would be funny to have Zilean change a little bit. And instead of floating, he would walk. Instead of having the giant clock on his back, he would have like a Flavor Flav style clock chain.
Oh my god.
With like a green bomber jacket, no beard, just a mustache, and then he'd carry a staff that had the clock on it, much like the Time Wizards. I thought that would be hilarious and awesome. When he ease you, it kind of looks like polymerization instead of like the little spinning helix or whatever. I thought that would be fun. Obviously, it would be a total fat rip on Yu-Gi-Oh! So it probably would never actually exist, but would be hilarious. And it would also be funny if they gave him like kind of a New Jersey accent, kind of like
like Joey.
Like Joey. Yeah.
Oh my god. Well, that, and I think just we'd probably have to wait another 5 years for Zilean skin.
I know, we got one, so it's like, okay, well, I guess he's done for a hot minute.
That's pretty good.
That was the one that I came up with. The other ones, I'm sure you said you had skin lines that
I would just
champions
simple,
could join.
just like skin lines that just make sense. Like Dunkmaster skin line.
Sure.
Give me Dunkmaster Vi, Jarvan, Garen. I think there's probably another one that like does some kind of dunking animation. Come on, Riot. You can make a whole basketball team
Why don't you make Rammus the basketball? He's already a soccer ball.
Do you
Just
think
make a
they?
chroma where he's a basketball.
That'd be lazy as shit. That'd be like
No,
how
no,
they
but
did.
you just that's why you just make it a chroma. He's a basketball chroma, and then he fits in with the Dunk Masters. um,
That was basically the ones that I've always been thinking about stuff like that. I do know there was a concept way back when for Bum Plank, where
yeah,
Gangplank's a homeless guy and he's got like his barrels are burning trash cans. Like he's got like his sword is just a broken bottle,
right.
like a 40 that's broken. Just
It's always reminded me of like Ollie the Magic Bum from Tony Hawk, right?
oh yeah, give me
Like
that. Make that.
you
Make,
remember
give,
you remember Ollie the Magic Bum and he had
Mhm.
the cardboard skateboard.
Um. Yeah. Sorry. I totally forgot about this assignment, so forgive me. Did you have any?
Calientes, you're the one who put this out to us, which tells me you might have one in the bank, and I want to hear about it. I want to hear all about it, actually. Um, those of you that may have missed this little fun piece from Calientes, feel free to respond in the Discord, Instagram, YouTube. I've been seeing more YouTube comments as of late, so feel free to drop a response there as well. Be happy to read it out if you're skilled with image creation, Illustrator, what have you. Feel free to even post that up. Like that's totally cool if you want to post that up or whatever. I know you see them in the Reddit threads, and sometimes, well, back when Riot used to have the forum board and people could respond, you used to see them there as well. I guess it's now, resigned to Reddit at this point. But yes, fun skin ideas are always great. Obviously, the more creative, usually the more fun they are when they're super obvious, like Pool Party Zach, where he's just a glob of water. It's not quite as fun, although Zach needed a skin, so that was still good. But obviously, that's a super obvious one. So, like Frankenstein Mundo would be stupid. Please don't pose Frankenstein Mundo. Please.
Sorcery here wrote a good one. They said, I would totally buy a stupid kale skin where her wings are leaves of kale and her weapon is the stalk and she's just a vegetable.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
That should be. I could see that as an April Fool's skin.
I said, what did I say about bok choy?
Yeah, bok choy kale.
Right. That's pretty funny.
That'd be a good one.
That would be. You know, she's just swinging around the stalk of bok choy or celery or something. I don't know.
But yeah, guys, feel free to write in here. We'll come back and we'll check it out. We're always just checking the suggestions too. Same thing with the World Cup. That'd be cool if you guys want to put
if
your.
You still want to participate in that, feel free.
Yeah, or come start your own discussion right here in the Discord. So, yeah.
I don't have anything else to add, so I guess we should get on to the meat and potatoes of this thing.
Actually, really quick, one thing I totally forgot about that we should definitely just comment on. Riot released the NA schedule, and it fucking blows. Actually,
I was listening to. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, well, are you gonna mention Hotline League?
Yeah, as I said, I was listening to Hotline League today, and I didn't finish the episode, but
Same.
The first 45 minutes is just, and I get it. It makes total sense. We as NA viewers on the West Coast sort of feel, I don't know if betrayed's the right word, but lightweight forgotten about.
I'm totally fine with it being on a Thursday. I don't care, but noon. Like everybody and their mother works I work 7 to 3. I know you work fucking till 5 sometimes. So it's like,
yeah, sometimes
we're going to miss the games. I don't really I like watching it live. I'll watch VODs if I have to, but I go on Reddit and I'll see all the spoilers. I'm like, I don't want to watch the game now.
Right.
But it's just so weird. And
it's very strange that they would do that. Very, very strange.
I mean, they said their reasoning is they've seen data that the league category on Twitch is most at its highest between 11 and 2 p.m., 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. So do you think it's going to bring in more people?
Europeans maybe, or foreign regions. I kind of did some thinking, and I think the time slot sucks, and that's on a personal level. I don't know if it's bad for the league, though, I guess is how I put it. I'm not sure if it's bad for the league. So, um, it's hard to. I don't know. I don't know where that data comes from, or how full or half baked that data might even be. So it's hard to say, but there's something there. I mean, I don't think that they would make a decision like this lightly, especially in a league where they just all the teams just dropped the budget a little bit. I mean, they're not spending like they were last year. Was really probably the last year of big spending until this region wins a world championship or
which is never
gets to
never gonna
semifinals
happen,
again.
friend.
Uh,
I think the other big thing, and this was mentioned, I don't know if it was Papa Smithy that mentioned it. I didn't finish the episode as well, but they tell us this, and then they're going
Yeah.
on a 2-week break. So
so
there's no
stupid.
other information that they're telling us about. And they had how many months? They said they've known about this for months.
Yes, leaked
Yeah,
months
it was
ago, I
leaked, you're right.
guess.
Like,
And yeah, I don't understand the decision making, and I wish Riot wouldn't have dropped. I wish they would have dropped this like earlier in the month so we could actually discuss it and maybe have some feedback or pushback as viewers, but they didn't do that. So unfortunately, we gotta roll with what we got, right?
it's tough, man. It's
It's
just,
shitty. It makes you feel as an NA viewer, even on the East Coast, it makes you feel kind of abandoned by Riot. They're like, yeah, well, we don't want to. But I also know that this was not just an NA decision. This was a global decision, is my understanding, is that this came from the global team. So Chris Greeley,
suck it.
that's all I got to say. And how
Uh,
dare you sit up on stage and tell us how much you love NA and then
oh my
fuck our time frame up, okay? How dare you sit up on stage with Billy Boyd and Dominic Monaghan and fucking lie to us?
Are
Like
we?
that part sucks.
Do you want to take? You want to make a wager? Well, you'll probably agree with me. Do you think they switch back
By summer,
or even like halfway through spring?
I don't think they'll switch back in the middle. I don't think they'll switch back until the next split. And also, though, I think the next split might consist of best of threes, depending on how
Oh,
NA does at MSI. I'm okay with best of threes. I think best of threes help the teams actually learn how to adapt to changes. Personally, that's where we. But obviously, in Worlds, if we can't get through groups of best of ones, I guess it doesn't
there's no
fucking
point.
matter.
Right.
But
Let us let us know. Yeah, anybody that watches, I know a few of the EU guys too that hang
yeah.
around. They watch LCS. Let us know how you're feeling. It's probably what is it? Is Europe like 8 hours ahead of us? Something like that.
Depending on where you live in Europe, it's yeah,
So
it's
8,
hard to
10. So that wouldn't even be. I mean, sure, 8. I think 8 p.m. maybe is a decent time. But like, if games go on for like 5 hours, you can't watch all of them. It's kind of weird. It's fuck. I don't know. But let us know
Stupid.
how you guys are feeling on this.
Yeah.
You got our opinions and probably share the same thing. But
You've probably seen all the same opinions on Reddit and Twitter.
right.
Yeah, I'd be interested to hear from like Calientes, specifically, just because I know that the time frame probably fits better for you, and I don't mind the games. I think we talked about this. I don't mind the games on Thursday or Friday. It's just
No, yes,
the
the
time
time.
slot is just
Yeah.
bad. But I also understand too, they push it too much later. You're starting to compete with traditional sports, which tend to be big winners, and so I could see that being a slight issue. I know there are some things that just didn't get talked about, whether it's from us or even a hotline league, in terms of like what you're competing against or whatever, what have you. But it certainly feels bad for getting used to like watching this shit on like or this Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Saturday, or whatever schedule they had. It certainly feels bad that they've gone and changed it up on us and made us feel like redheaded stepchildren.
We shall see. I don't even know. I don't even know. Are they having lock in again? I haven't heard anything about that either. So we're
Who
kind of
cares?
we're
We're gonna miss it anyways.
we're kind of in limbo for the next 2 weeks while Riot's gone. So enough with
Yeah.
that. Let's move on to the cat. So I'm sure everyone has probably seen this, read this. Hopefully, they we don't need to read the whole thing because they have nice little bullet points here. Um, Also, I did not realize this champion's almost already 4 years old. It
Is
feels
she
like
really?
it says 2019. I think she was
Wow.
like, let me see. Yuumi, I think it was like middle of 2019. Yeah, May 2019, so almost 4 years old. What the fuck?
Yeah, they don't know what to do with this champion. It's like super picked in pro play, super complained about in solo queue or ranked. Um, and I get it. What feels like should be a weakness, and what I always thought would be her weakness from like the get go is this team. Whoever has Yuumi is basically fielding a 4-man team, right? They're a 4-man team with one kind of superpowered champion, I guess is the best way to put it. Which I thought might be the weakness. Like, yeah, okay, hey, you have this superpowered champion, but also you're down a whole entire champion that for flanking and setup and whatnot. And that's not her fucking weakness. She gives movement speed. She does damage. She has CC, whether it's hard CC or a slow. Um, she heals. She provides extra damage to whoever she's attached to. Like, she does things that enchanters should do and should be able to do, whether it's healing or shielding, and provide boosts to those champions that she's attached to, more or less. Um, and I almost wonder if they should well, should I get into what I think they should do, or should we go through the
Let's see
dev
what
post
they.
first
Yeah, let's just
before
look at
I
this full. Yeah, they have 4 bullet points here. Let's just see what they're
four bullet
trying
points
to.
that tell us absolutely nothing?
So they say we also want to identify what we've identified as a few of the primary reasons for her high ban rate and pro dominance. So losing lane to Yuumi often feels like losing the game due to her strong healing. I agree with that because like, what I mean, how would you, what would you define as her weakness in lane if she's just sitting there? Sure, she has to jump off if she wants to get her passive, the shield, but
That's it.
like that's
Her
I don't
mana
know.
cost on her E was supposed to be the other weakness, and
It
that's
just
really not a problem. You can play around that.
I feel like not even losing. You could win against Yuumi, and I just feel like she just gets Luden's Echo and one other like Ardent Sensor or
Is the same move that
whatever,
Garden
and
Sensor,
boop,
Mikhail's or something.
you're fucking gone. You're just zooming. Um, yeah, it just really low. I don't want to say it's like low risk, high reward. Just if you have a Yuumi on your team, they don't have to do shit either, which is the most frustrating thing.
I think it's
Um,
okay though. That's one of the things I don't want to take away from this champion is her accessibility. Um, this game should cater to all kinds of players at all kinds of skill levels, right? It just feels really bad when you look at someone in Diamond playing fucking Yuumi, like, bruh, that's the best you could come up with was playing a Yuumi in fucking Diamond.
well, I mean, why wouldn't they play if this champion's super busted?
Sure, then that's like I don't know how you fix that, and I think that their blog post kind of tells us the same thing. It's like, how do you fix something like that? You want to make her accessible. She is a champion for literally brand new people to learn how to play this game. Like, she's really good for that. Um, but how do you make her just not super good? Like, I don't know. Let's go over these bullet points before I guess I start
Yeah.
imposing.
So the second one, they say Yumi's power isn't tied to her own success, so putting Yuumi behind in lane doesn't feel impactful since she can switch partners easily. That's like the other thing. Like if you're playing the Yuumi and your AD is getting blasted, guess what? You can just fucking latch onto the jungler and just never come back bot lane. Especially if like you're with an Udyr or someone that's gonna be running really fast. There's no point. Like sure, I mean sure she's not gonna get XP. I mean you got to kind of rob it going lanes, but like it's so frustrating because she necessarily doesn't have to do anything except hit E and maybe land her skill shots.
Yeah, that's it. It's her skill shot.
Right. Laning as an ADC with Yuumi isn't fun due to her weak early game and solo play and tendency to quickly attach to someone else.
Also very true. Like you just said, they go to the jungler and their ADC's like, starts raging like, this is fucking stupid. You just abandoned me. Like, now he's definitely fucked. He's already behind. Doesn't have that second champion. Is double fucked. The only bonus he gets there is getting solo XP.
And then finally, in pro play, Yuumi lacks exploitable counterplay windows relative to her strong defense and engage capabilities. I don't think we should. Maybe we should stray away from pro play because obviously we're not pros.
Right. I'm not worried about talking about. Well, the other thing I want to talk about pro play is just the fact that like she's so heavily picked there. That's the only mention I have. And,
I
like,
want to
really
say I've heard like Afromu and other supports say they hate playing that champion, but
they do.
She's so busted that why wouldn't you play her?
Right. She's boring as fuck to play. If you play this game at a high level, she's boring as fuck to play because you're playing the game at a low level intentionally. There's no real flashy plays you can make. You hop off, maybe you land a Q and an auto attack and jump back on. Like, there's no real flashy play that she has. But if we want to talk about some of those pieces, I think it's easily touched with the scaling piece, right?
Okay.
She is weak early game. Pre-6, she's fucking basically garbage. I mean, she's a heal bot with a Q, but she doesn't have the ulti, so she can't set you up, right? And I think the ulti is fine as being a impactful team fighting piece. A lot of enchanters have impactful team fighting pieces. Renata's ulti, Janna's ulti, Lulu's ulti, Nami's got a good ulti, so sure, that's fine. All fine and dandy. I think that's totally fine. But like if you hit her scaling and maybe even remove the slow off of her Q.
So are we getting into, you want to get into what we think should happen, or
I guess, I mean,
we can go back and forth.
But the thing that sucks about this dev post is like they didn't really tell us anything. They didn't give us any ideas that they have. They just told us what they think her problems are.
I mean,
and I think we all kind of agree.
I agree that she should stay. She should be an easy to learn enchanter.
Right.
But I'm worried if someone plays Yuumi and then switches to like a Lulu, I think that's a big difference in play style, because it's like, because sure, what separates Yuumi from every other enchanter?
Her massive healing ability and the fact that she doesn't have to move around the fucking lane.
She's untargetable.
Right. Oh, okay. Untargetable. That's the word you're looking for. Okay.
You can't do anything.
No.
That's stupid. So
right.
I feel like if people are learning the game and they try Yuumi and they're like, oh, this is sick, I don't have to do anything. You know, I'm targetable the whole fucking time. Blah, blah, blah. I don't know. It's, yeah, again, they don't really say anything. So while we're still in the early stages of Yuumi's work, it actually makes my balls itch that a champion that's first Zeri, okay? Not even
Zeri, who has an incredibly difficult
sure, but I was leaning towards the whole idea that like more like newer champions are getting more rework and attention because Riot's fucked up with what they've been doing.
And then Nasus still exists.
Nasus gains 10% lifesteal, yeah. But yeah, I got a cute little list here of some ideas that I came up with. Maybe you'll agree with them, maybe you won't. I think so. Okay, what were you saying about the Q?
So I think a piece you could do to that to make it less frustrating is just drop the slow off the Q. I know it's frustrating when you're running away and you fucking land the slow, like, motherfucker, now I'm dead, because the slow is actually rather strong. Kind of like Senna's Q slow is rather strong. My problem is I don't really have an issue with Senna's slow because she's squishy as fuck, and sometimes you can turn around and just blow her ass up and whatever. You can't do that with Yuumi. You turn around to fight her and you're fighting to a champion and a half, who's got free scaling. So even if they're behind, they have free scaling from her passive, which might be another piece to hit. Drop some of that passive scaling. Or, you know, when she hops on somebody, maybe she loses whatever scaling she gives, she loses. Like maybe that's an option as well, right? Because she gives adaptive force, right?
Right. It's a certain percentage.
Yeah, whatever that percentage is that she's giving, maybe she loses that when she's attached. Like that would give someone a reason to be unattached and maybe try to make some positioning moves.
I think I'll probably just jump around
No, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, okay, obviously the most frustrating thing is the untargetable. The first thing I suggest is if the person she's sitting on gets CC'd, she should be knocked off. Because I know, obviously, if you interrupt her while she's flying to another champion, that fucks her up. Or it should knock her off, maybe put her W on a cooldown of something like that. Maybe that might be too extreme.
You're talking just hard CC, right?
Yeah, like if she gets, or maybe not even, okay, maybe we could define it a little bit more. Not a, if it's got to be a stun, not a root. Because a root,
Yeah,
you
no
can still
snares,
auto attack, right?
Right, full stun or knock up or knock back.
Yeah, yeet that fucking cat off if that happens.
You just got punched by Blitzcrank. You think the cat is still sitting on your shoulder? I don't.
So that was my first big thing. She should be
That's
knocked off. We'll go with the W again. I think she should have, like, it'll be like Yuumi can jump to X amount of champions. Maybe it's your whole team. Maybe it's just 3 before the W goes on cooldown. Because obviously when you're jumping around, there's no cooldown, right? So
right, if you just go champ to champ.
So this way, this is what I'm thinking of. If you can only allow her to jump to 3 champions, so she's sitting on 1, jumps to 1, jumps to 2, jumps to 3. That would make her have to think about which champion she has to be sitting on, and then the W goes on a cooldown, so she can't just keep jumping around. If that makes sense.
No, I hear you.
She'll have to prioritize or like think through instead of just mindlessly pressing W on her whole team.
Okay.
That was my other thing.
I might refute that point just because in a team fight, it can help to jump forward and then back. And if that's taking me 2 champions to do that, you know what I mean? I would be kind of like, well, that idea would be out the woodwork. You'd have to plant something. It kind of telegraphs your play a little bit if you're on the leading champion, I guess, is my point.
I think it would just kill the frustrating, like, I don't know. I just think the whole jumping around freely is just too much.
Okay.
This one probably now I'm thinking about the W, because the W range is already fucking short as shit. So maybe I said make it shorter, but no,
I think they shortened it from what it was. And okay, what else you got?
Let's see. We'll go back to the Q. I'm fine with the Q having a slow. I think that's okay. Otherwise, I think she'd be kind of useless. I would suggest dropping the damage on her Q, but at max rank, it does more damage. So I think that way people would either have to prioritize leveling your Q first or your heal. So, you get the X, because people get Luden's Echo, Yuumi, and then you just fucking one-shot people.
Right.
So I'm saying at rank 5, make that Q do more damage, like nerf it early, a lot later. Does extra damage. And then tied with that, I had a idea for her healing. Well, first of all, healing. I think healing should be increased based on the target's missing health. So it heals more the lower HP they're on. And then what if it had a similar mechanic to like how Soraka is? Her healing costs health and mana. Okay. So same thing with Yuumi. And then if maybe hitting it'd be literally the same thing as Soraka, which kind of sounds stupid now that I'm saying it out loud. But hitting a Q gives you health regen just so you can continuously use your E, like, making your E cost. But that wasn't a very original idea.
What about? Oh no, go ahead. If you have more, go ahead.
No, the only other thing I had is I personally think her ultimate's fine. There's nothing wrong with the ulti. Okay. It doesn't do too much damage. The root is fine. I think they take less damage after 3 waves.
I think so.
So I think the ulti's fine. Less. That's pretty much it.
Excuse me. Okay, so here's an idea I kind of just thought of, and it's kind of half-baked, so bear with me. What if... So one of the problems, and I don't know how much Yuumi you've actually played. One of the problems is she just doesn't level her W. You get it to attach. I think you start with it.
Right.
And you just don't level that ability. What if there's a way to like give some sort of incentive? Like maybe like you were saying, like how many targets you can jump to?
Okay.
and maybe it increases until it doesn't matter anymore at max rank.
Or okay. What if they treat it like Urgot W,
Right,
where
that's what I'm saying. Right. At
at
max rank, it's
max
like,
rank
okay,
it's
cool, it's
free?
unlocked.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So that's a thought, and or maybe even at max rank, you know, I mentioned the she loses the adaptive damage. Maybe at max rank, it doesn't. She get like you said with Urgot. It's just like it is now at max rank. That would give you a reason to actually consider leveling that skill, because right now that skill is just, I don't fucking care. I need to level either Q if I'm gonna go Luden's Echo, which she's doing right now, or in a more healing meta, you go E for the
Yeah,
heals.
I see that was what I was kind of suggesting with like
The scaling, right?
the Q, like you got to prioritize. You want to do more damage, you want to do more healing, or do you want to be able to save your allies more?
Right.
Which would be, maybe that might be too overwhelming for some people to like, oh shit, what do I do? Like I gotta blah 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 blah. I do like the idea of like leveling up your W, that each rank lets you, the cooldown will slowly go back to 0 or something. Starts at
Something
5,
like that,
4, 3,
right?
2, and then 0.
Or however many champions
Sure.
to jump to can increase or something
And
like
like
that.
a what's a passive, like a singe passive, where it's like every 8 seconds you can, he can
Oh yeah, the
draft
slipstream.
off. Yeah, it's a cooldown per
It's called
champion or whatever.
slipstream.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I think it's called
Noxian slip, something like that.
yeah,
But you
Noxian
get the idea.
slipstream or something like
There's
that.
like a
Yeah.
cooldown per champion instead of just being able to jump back and forth. Okay, I like that.
Um, what else could you do to this champion? See, I just think the root on her ult's disgusting, but I think it's fair because, like I said, every enchanter has some sort of devastating ulti. So I think it's okay to have something kind of nuts like that. I think it's
Honest, the damage. Okay, the damage is nothing.
the damage is fucking weak. I don't even care about the damage.
And then
on it. It doesn't
one
do
and a
jack
quarter second root. I don't think that's too long.
No, it doesn't do jack shit. Like it's just good for like setting somebody up to really like knock them down. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, I don't know what else you could do to her without completely changing her identity, and that's I think what they don't want to do. It's very strange because this champion is so unique in her build. I know that Duke was talking about the Dota equivalent, right?
Oh, was it Io? I think, is that
Yeah, I think so.
the
Did he
heroes?
have any good notes on like kind of how that
Not
champion works, or is
not
it
that I
just
can
totally
remember.
incompatible?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to next week. I think
Duke,
we're
wherever you're
playing.
at, you got to post it up so that way we can copy pasta and and put it on something.
Right.
Post up because you had some thoughts on that, and I thought it was interesting, but I don't remember because it was during a stream, and I think I was doing something while you guys were talking or whatever. I think I was working on the artwork for this episode, actually, thinking about it now. So, yeah, Duke, wherever you're at, when you have access and the availability, post that up because I do want to copy and kind of throw it up for people. Obviously, I'm not that familiar with Dota. Some of you might be. Duke's kind of our resident Dota dude. So,
Man, this Q does so. I'm just reading the numbers right here. The Q does so much fucking. I didn't realize it does current.
do current health damage.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Oh,
That's too much. Just get rid of this, dude.
right.
That's stupid. I don't. She should be able to do damage or heal. It's not both. That's
I
not.
think it's fair. I mean, like, look at Soraka. She doesn't do jack shit for damage, right?
Yeah, but she's
But she heals.
She heals.
She's the ambulance.
Man.
Wee woo, wee woo.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just super frustrating, and typical Riot not saying shit.
Well, part of it sucks because like I kind of feel for them. Like, what do you do, right? Like, I don't know. I don't have a good answer for that question.
I don't think anybody does.
Right.
Who
And
knows
that's the
what
thing. That's what we want to explore. That's what I want to hear from some of you guys. For those of you that do have suggestions or ideas, like, what do you do with this thing?
What do I do?
Do I say sorry? Do I apologize?
I'm sorry.
So yeah, I mean, if you guys have any ideas, guys like Thoticus usually come in with good ideas. I know that Purple is big on kind of theory crafting a little bit with what's available. So I'd be interested to hear from you guys. And like I said, Duke, obviously the Dota equivalent. Tell me more. I don't think I have anything else to add because I think we kind of ran through these ideas. I thought they would take a little bit longer, but I feel like we just kind of blitzed through them because they're kind of straightforward. The champion does what it does, and we don't want to remove that identity. I think it's important that she's allowed to keep the identity that she has. So it's very it's a I can't think of the word. It's a sensitive case. That's not the word I was thinking of, but it's a sensitive case of like how much touching or tweaking is too much, is too far, is going to make the champion. You don't want to render her into uselessness like Yorick did, right? Like they did with Yorick. I think that is an example of what you never want to fucking ever do again. Because I can't think of another champion that just doesn't get played at all.
I'd have to look at the champions.
There's some, sure, they don't get played as often, but then, like, sometimes their time comes, right? Like Shyvana, her time comes, and then it goes. And then it comes, and then it goes. But there's not a whole lot. Like, right now, Master Yi is not being played, but, like, he has his time, too, right? So it's very hard to say otherwise. I don't know. What do you think? You have anything else to add?
Their changes are going to be them just fucking buffing the living shit out of this champion. Like, we felt pretty good about these changes on Yuumi. Fucking 80% win rates.
I mean, it took him about 13 tries to figure out Zeri, but I feel like Zeri's actually in a decent spot, though. I think she could be a little bit stronger in her current state, but I'm not mad about that. At least I have an understanding of how she works now, you know?
It blows my mind that it was still 13 whatever X how many changes
I'm just
to get
guessing
here.
Changes, but it
You're
feels
probably
like 13.
close. No, you're definitely close. But yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah.
Let us know your opinions, guys. Join the Discord. Comment on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, wherever you can hit us up. Do it up.
Do it.
But yeah, I just want to, especially the YouTube, want to shout this out.
And if you have friends that have ideas, this is a really good one to share with your friends. Like, what would y'all do? We told you what we think might work possibly. And these are half-baked ideas. These are not ideas that are thought out and tested. So these would be half-baked ideas. But, like, you got friends. I know you got friends.
Yeah.
You can't lie to me. I know you have friends. That's why you're here.
But no, do you want to shout out YouTube? Come over to join the YouTube. We got some sick gameplay coming up.
Yeah.
I got a Vi gameplay of me and Steven whooping ass.
There was a Yuumi in that game.
There was a Yuumi in that game. That's exactly why we won. So come over.
I wish we were recording the game we just played.
That was good. But we have a pretty good 5-man from the a stream I did the other night. I'll be working on that. It was really fun. But cool. Yeah, come over to the YouTube. Hit us with a sub. Hit us with a like. Give us your thoughts and opinions. Let us know. I'm also trying to decide. Again, I know people were saying they like the full gameplays. Thinking about editing them down a little bit. You know, give us your thoughts. What do you like? What don't you like? But yeah, I think that's about it.
All I got.
That's all I got. I think so. Next week is Christmas. Sunday is Christmas.
We probably should take a break.
If anything, I might just be streaming instead of maybe putting an episode up. If anything, maybe a champion review next Friday.
I might be able to give you one of those or something maybe middle of the week.
Yeah,
because the end of the week's New Year's, so it kind of gets tough for people to listen, anyways.
Sure. I mean, I'm off all week, so I'm gonna be trying to stream as much as I can. So again, come over to the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/according-to-elo-pod. It is in the link tree. As well as with all our other links. But yeah, guys, that is it. So tune in, join the Discord, and we will talk to you when we talk to you. I don't know.
Later, guys.
Thanks again for watching, everybody. Like the video and sub to the channel if you haven't already. For more content, click right here to see our most recent gameplay video. Click right here to see our previous episode of our podcast.